Hello, viewers, listeners, and the students of Part 1 and PD 3. This is the class of Contract 1, and topic is today remoteness of damages. Though we have discussed about the damages in the last class when we have read about the breach of contract, and after the breach of contract there is a outcome of loss or damages. So whenever there is a breach of contract, there is a loss and damage to the aggrieved party, as you know better. Now, here remoteness of damage or remoteness of damages. As we know about by the word remote, that in Hindi it is called durast. And remote word is very famous nowadays because remote is everywhere and everybody knows about a remote. But in the case of damage or breach of contract, remoteness, if it is used as adjective with the damages, it gives a special meaning toward the damage. And here the meaning of remoteness shall be taken as a indirect damage, damage due to the breach of contract. Now let us proceed how remoteness damage come by the breach of the contract. Actually, if there is a sign and there is a symbol of damages, so we always consider as actual damage. And actual damage, we mean the physical damage, that is factual damage, which we can see, which we can assess of the damages by our senses and also fixed by the law. But in case of remoteness, damages are actually not seen, but it can be expected only by or through our foresee method. Now, as we have seen that when a contract is broken, the injured party can claim for damages from other party, and suit for damages is only remedy which the Contract Act affords. Now, damages means monetary compensation awarded to the injured party by the court, and so burden of proving lies on the head of the injured party and to prove his loss. The object of the awarding damages and its other monetary compensation is to put the injured party in the same financial position in which they would have been had there been no breach of contract. But in case of breach of contract, the aggrieved party has right to get the compensation for any loss or damages suffered by him, which naturally arose in the course of the things from such breach. But the defendant will not compel to, to the party, any other party which is or that is remote. Idea behind this paragraph is that if the plaintiff has sustained loss or damage, he can claim for the things in the course of the breach of the contract, whereby he would get the monetary compensation in a way that he would be there had there may not be, there may not have been breach of the contract made. Now the question arises that how we can understand the damage or its remoteness. Now let us see the example by which you can easily understand the remoteness of damages. A contract, A means a person, a contract to supply to shopkeeper B pure mustard oil, but he supplied impure stuff, which is a breach of contract. And so there is a direct damages seen in this case. But if the oil is seized by the inspector and destroyed, the shopkeeper arrested, prosecuted and convicted, he suffers the loss of oil. Or the other loss also, which at the time of contract he never narrated these points of possibility that might happen after the breach of the contract, and they can be read out as follow. You can see and understand easily. First of all, the loss of profits to be gained on the selling of it. Means, what is the meaning? Meaning that if the oil was not seized, he might have been able to gain another profit also. And the loss of business reputation, this is also had not been counted at the time of contract in case of breach of contract. But if the claimant takes this plea also, then it is also remoteness of damages. Now, if the shopkeeper says that there is a loss of social prestige, this is also a damage full of remoteness. And the shopkeeper also says that there is a wastage of time and energy, that is also a kind of remoteness of damages, but it also must have been dealt clearly at the time of the contract, but never done. Now, there is also example of remoteness of damage in this case, that there is a mental agony. Yes, of course, if somebody arrested, convicted, then social prestige also goes away. At the time of another loss is also sustained by him. But these losses are never discussed at the time of the contract. So, after all, breach of contract, they cannot be included so far as the damage is concerned. Now, torture during the prosecution is also taken into consideration, but it is also remoteness of damages which cannot be counted in the loss and damage, and so this shall not be taken as a damage. Now, circumstance or a special circumstance is also discussed at the time of the contract, and some possibilities which may happen in the future shall also be noted at the time of the contract, but these were excluded by the aggrieved party or defendant and plaintiff. So these damages or loss must be compensated and cannot be taken into the purview of the compensation or remedy for the damage. This principle was established in the famous case as Hadley versus Baxdale in 1854 by the Court of Exchequer, in which the case was that plaintiff went to the defendant taking crankshaft with him, which was an important part of the mill, and the mill was stopped due to damage of the crank, and he requested to the defendant to send it, means the crank shaft, to the manufacturer so that he may able to start the mill again in the future. So finally the defendant received it, and he also promised to return to him after the arrival of the shaft. But due to the negligence or due to the delay of the supply of the crank to the manufacturer, it was delayed and mill was stopped for time unexpected. Thereafter, after taking time, plaintiff severally went to the defendant asking him for the crankshaft, but unfortunately the defendant was failed to do the contract at the right time and reasonably. After damage or sustaining loss, the plaintiff went to the court for redressal of his remedy, damage. Thus, plaintiff asked or claimed for the damages what he had sustained in absence of the crankshaft. He claimed that due to the non-fulfillment of the contract, he lost many gains and profits, which was to be come from the mill, and due to the non-fulfillment of the crankshaft, that did not happen. Now he also claimed that if the crankshaft was given in time or handed over in time to him, the mill was in a position of running, and so many gains and profit could have been coming during the business hour, or so many business and reputation have been damaged due to the non-fulfillment of the or non-returning of the shaft in time. And that is not the only thing. He also claimed that there was a business reputation in his part, and there was social prestige also, like the last example. And lastly, the decision of the Court of the Exchequer was that these number of claim was not given by the court, saying that these were the remoteness of damages which would not be given to him at any rate, because at the time of these possibilities or happening of these possibility expectation were must discussed, so that these also may be mentioned as a actual damages. But due to the absence of these special circumstances and conditions, the plaintiff is no more able to get the compensation which he had claimed further. Thank you.